All right, welcome to the Gunfire Challenge. Tonight we're going to talk about move, fight, recover. This is a little framework that I came up with a couple years ago. Haven't really publicly done much with it, but I just want to kind of show it to you guys. So basically what it is, it's a simple way to kind of think of all things performance. I typically like in the advanced level to talk about 4 coactive model, which is the physical, the psychological, technical, and tactical. The way Buddy Morris describes it is in that order. For example, if you do not have confidence in your physical abilities because, say, you've never gotten punched in the face and you're about to go to a boxing match, your psychology is not going to be optimized, which means you cannot pick the right technique, meaning you cannot employ tactics. So that's kind of the easy way to think about that stuff. Now with the 4 coactive model, that is all surrounded by health. So without a good baseline of functional health that helps you mitigate injury, reduce the stress on the system, inflammation, kind of all that good stuff, you got to have that health first. If you do it correctly, you can have a long, healthy life and career while still maintaining performance. This is kind of something we're starting to see in the pro levels. It's not quite gained a lot of traction yet, but there's some guys that you can see out there that are starting to get a healthy lifestyle while still having a high level of performance. So that's kind of what we're shooting for by using the 4 coactive model and then a simpler way thinking of move, fight, recover. Hold on one second. There we go. All right, so the 80% solution is to train for and play team sports. I like to think of it as rotating through the seasons. You may have a primary sport. My primary is primarily floor hockey, but I still try to play more sports as frequently as possible, and we'll kind of get into why in a little bit. But the way you can divide it up throughout the seasons is a small ball, a stick, racket, paddle type sport. So you got your golf, your softball, baseball, softball, hockey, pickleball, racquetball, all those kind of things. Your next category is large ball, soccer, rugby, football, volleyball, basketball. If you are looking to gain speed, I highly recommend adding some type of basketball or volleyball into your off season. What'll happen is the volume of jumping you do in both those sports will increase your neurological activation. In turn, you will most likely, not guaranteed, but most likely you will get faster. And then next category is locomotive. Run, bike, swim, obstacle course racing, adventure racing is obviously more ideal for the tactical community, specifically adventure racing with more your long range patrol type stuff. Stand-up paddleboarding, rollerblading, anything you can think of that's locomotive. I like the 5K to start the day kind of philosophy. Is if you can start the day with some type of 5K of locomotion, probably gonna end up pretty healthy. Walking and hiking are probably some of your better activities if you can't think of anything else. And the next one is martial arts. I like 1 grappling, 1 striking. So as you're rotating through these, you're going to be looking at, again, you can have a primary sport or you cannot. It's kind of up to you. The goal is to rotate through these as the seasons kind of naturally rotate. You're going to play softball primarily in the summer, ice hockey in the winter, etc. But if you can mix those up, you're going to get a lot of activities. So why small ball, stick, racket, paddle sports? Rotational power. That's where you're going to get that. The way to balance, and this is something you have to kind of consider, is if you're playing golf, softball, baseball, your rotational power is pretty much only going in one direction. So I would highly recommend something like racquetball, pickleball, tennis. That's going to balance that out a little bit, not quite as much because you're still going to be dominant on the same side. And then a sport like hockey is going to have your probably 75-25. So 75% on the dominant side, 25% on the not so dominant side as far as rotation goes. Your large ball sport is going to get you a lot of plyometric and reactivity to other players. So whether it's soccer, rugby, football, basketball, etc., you have to react to another player, whether that's you're going on the offense or you're going on the defense. So there's a lot of aspects in that are going to tie in. You also get that in hockey. So to me, again, that's why hockey is one of my primary. It hits everything. But between those two sports, you're looking at the small ball, stick, racket, paddle type sports are going to have much more hand-eye coordination type skills, whereas the large ball sports are going to be much more react to a player and then move yourself. And then locomotion is just general health for the most part. Stress relief, whatever stuff people have. But then you could add in obstacle course and adventure racing for more your tactical side to get a little bit more of that variability in there. And then martial arts kind of has that natural carryover. So, Ed, I see you're on. Do you have any? I know you kind of missed the first part. Do you want me to go over that first slide? I don't know if you're muted or not. I think you are. Let's see if I can unmute you. Looks like you can unmute yourself, but I can't unmute you from here, at least not while I'm sharing the screen.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay, there you go. Cool. Did you get I think you missed the first slide.
Yeah, if you just want to do like a real quick.
Yeah. So basically, the Move, Fight, Recover is something that I came up with a couple years ago and haven't really publicly released. But Move, Fight, Recover is kind of a simple way of simplifying a 4 coactive model: your physical, psychological, technical, tactical, with it surrounded by a baseline health. That's kind of the gist of it. Is you take that 4 coactive model, simplify it into Move, Fight, Recover, and those different aspects, which I didn't really get into yet, because the 80% solution is to train for and play team sports. So that's kind of the gist of Move, Fight, Recover. And then we'll get into, in later weeks, we'll get into the actual move, what's move, what's fight, what's recover. So that's kind of the gist of it.
Copy.
You got any questions that might help out there as far as like understanding the concepts?
I didn't hear you say it. I heard you mention a bunch of the other sports that are kind of good cross-training things. Where do you think stuff like mountain biking, dirt biking, stuff like that sort of falls in?
Yeah, so I would probably put that in locomotive. And there's obviously going to be some aspects of that dynamic variability reacting to a stimulus. It's just not quite as, it's probably more similar to a adventure race, kind of ish. It'd probably actually be closer to surfing because you have to react to the environment more so than an individual, if that makes sense. And then you look at the martial arts are also reacting to an individual, along with the fitness components that come with it.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's kind of the gist for Move, Fight, Recover. I've got this recorded, so I'll put this on the team. But you got any other questions before I hit the stop button on record?
Not that I can think of at the moment. I'm sort of getting ready to go hit my run for the day.
Yeah, kind of get that. And so that would be a move session, which we'll get into next week.
Yep.
Cool, man. Yeah, sorry you didn't get to catch the beginning of it, but we'll head up next time.
It's all good.
Oh, and the big announcement. Nick won the referral challenge, so he's going to be officially an assistant coach.
Nice.
So he'll be in there. He can see everything, assign stuff, doing stuff for his guys at his gym. So that'll be cool. Cool, man. Well, I'm gonna hit the stop button here, and then let's see. Where is? There it is.